Now, we've all heard all good things must come to an end. And that's true. But it's also true that all good things have a start. They got to have a beginning, right? So let's start this video right here. I'm John Zidar. This is On Top and Hot. And today is Wednesday. It is January 8th. Now, if you watch my videos, you know what I like to do. I like to share hot penny stocks with you. I'm a day trader, and that's what I primarily do is I trade stocks under $5. And the great thing about that is, it is only about the price. You can find stocks under $5 on every market. OTC, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ. Doesn't matter what market they're on. It's only about the price. And I'm always looking for a hot penny stock. One that has potential to make us money. And I do have one to talk to you about today. But first, I want to share some big news that came out today. The CEO of NVIDIA has been reported as saying quantum computers will not be functionable for 15 to 30 years. Oh my God, that was a gut punch to the quantum sector, folks. She took a plunge today. Lots of your quantum computing companies fell. This is a list of some of them. It's not exhaustive. I don't have any of the titans in there. NVIDIA, Microsoft, IBM. But these are a lot of the smaller guys. This isn't just going to hurt them today, tomorrow, next week. I think this is going to hurt them for a long time. I think a year from now, people are going to say, remember what the CEO of NVIDIA said? We're not going to have a quantum computer for 15 to 30 years. I think that's going to keep investors away. And there's been a lot of attention, a lot of investors, a lot of money going towards those quantum computing companies. Well, I think those investors, for the most part, are going to evacuate now, pull their money, pull their interest, and look for something hotter. Where are they going to go? I don't know. There's a lot of stocks out there that are undervalued right now that haven't been getting attention. Maybe they will now. And we've got Trump coming into office here on the 20th. I think that in itself is a catalyst. The market seems to like Trump, and Trump likes the market. He's all about business. And the last time he came into office, the market just exploded. So we are looking forward to that as well. So there's going to be a lot happening. But I want you to be aware that the quantum sector is in hard place right now. Now, that doesn't mean I wouldn't play it. I'm not going to invest in quantum. It probably won't be hot in my lifetime. Truth told, right? But if it starts to run on any given day for any given reason or no reason at all, absolutely I'll play it. I'm all about the technicals. I'm all about the chart. The news is just frosting on the cake. All right, so what stock do I want to share with you today? Well, it's a stock we have talked about before. This is Safety Shot, ticker SHOT. I think I've probably talked about this 2 times at least. But I don't mind talking about a company again if it's going to run. Now, you know me, I don't push stocks. You don't see me keep repeating a stock over and over again because nobody's paid me to do that. I'm just sharing what I see, and right now, SHOT looks hot to me. Now, if you're not familiar with SHOT, SHOT has a very novel product. They've got a beverage that you drink that sobers you up. It helps you with your hangover. It lowers your blood sugar, lowering your alcohol in your blood. So they say. And this is a very novel product that is being distributed right now in the United States, and their distribution is growing at an alarming rate. And I'm going to look at that here with you here in a few minutes. But they had news come out today. The company is merging with another beverage company that is going to give them a lot of synergies and benefits. So Safety Shot, she finished today almost 66 cents. She was down about 11%. Now, this is a hot penny stock on the major exchange. She's on the NASDAQ, which comes with benefits. 1, all transactions are free. You don't have to pay to buy or sell your shares on the major exchange. Plus, you can trade at pre-market, aftermarket. You never get to do that with OTC. There's a lot more money and a lot more volume up on the major exchange, which is really what any trader is looking for. And there's a lot more rules compared to the OTC. So our investments are just plain safer up here. And some of those rules have to do with minimum criterias. And one of those criterias is a minimum price. Up on the major exchange, you cannot go under $1 for too long. You go under $1 for too long, you get a warning from them. They say you got 6 months to get your price up. You got 10 days. You got to get the price to close over $1 for 10 consecutive days. Then you're out of hot water within a 6-month period. If the investors don't push that price up, the company either has to do a reverse stock split to get the price to go up, which we're going to hate, or they're going to get thrown down to the OTC, which we're going to hate. Which would I prefer? Honestly, god dang, at this point in time, I would almost prefer they just go down to the OTC. I have gone through, I think 70 reverse stock splits, have lost tens of thousands of dollars on them, and a lot of the companies after they do them, they just fall more, which just compounds your losses. So I would rather keep my shares and have them fight to get back up on the major exchange, if I had any choice in it at all. So we're at 65 cents here. I have not noticed if they've been notified by the NASDAQ yet. We will have to take a look for that. So this is an American company based out of Florida. Now, as I said, they deal with a product that you drink, and it used to be a big can. I don't know if it was 8 ounces or 12 ounces, but you drink it, and in 30 minutes, you're supposed to feel better because it's actually lowered your blood alcohol content. Now, this is their original page, Safety Shot, which isn't a bad page. They've got some good information here, but it's got holes. I dove into this investor deck right here. Click it, nothing. I love investor decks. They're brochures that break down all the good information in easy to read terms in one easy to find place, but they don't have it here. But this is their old branding. They have rebranded themselves from Safety Shot to Sure Shot, and they've got a new website to go along with that. This is their new website, and they actually have new products now. If you've ever had a hangover, I'm sure most of you have, the last thing that's on your mind when you wake up is eating or drinking. You feel nauseous. So you normally end up going to the store for something, aspirin, a Pepsi, something, cigarettes. So now when you go to the store, rather than having to go all the way back to the cooler to get this drink, they now have them in these little 4-ounce bottles like those 5-hour power shots. And they aren't on the aisles. They're not in the cooler. They're on the counter where you're going to pay for your stuff. So it's an impulse purchase now. This is what they are shooting for. This is what they are doing when they get into these stores, is to get their products up there by the cash register. So when you're paying for something and you look down and see it, you're going to want it. You're feeling bad. You see something that can make you feel better in 30 minutes. You're on top of it. So they got these little 4-ounce bottles. I think they're going to be getting rid of the big ones. Now they've also got these pouches. This is just the powder itself that you mix in whatever beverage you want. They suggest you put it into 8 ounces of water. Maybe you could put it into 2 ounces of water and just shot glass it. Wham! Something like that. So I think this is a really hot product. And as you're going to see in the news, they're getting big box stores. They're getting little convenience stores like 7-Eleven to sell these products. And when you get into the stores like that, that's your market. That's where people go to get their cigarettes, their aspirin, and their Pepsi after they've got a hangover. So let's take a look now at the news for the company. I have rolled back here to November 14th. Sure Shot, the revolutionary alcohol-reducing beverage, launches in USA Today's best grocery store in America. But they didn't tell us what it was. They just told us that they're launching. And they do that with a lot of them. I don't know why that is. Safety Shot expands retail footprint with major grocery chain in U.S. Southwest. Now, I haven't dove into this, but again, I think I remember reading these, and I don't think they ever give us names of the stores, which you really want to know what they are in. Safety Shot announces Sure Shot is now available on leading e-commerce platform, which I just showed you. At the beginning of December, Safety Shot announces online retail expansion with one of U.S.'s largest big box store e-commerce platforms. I don't know who this is, but they're getting themselves out there in brick and mortar as well as e-commerce. Then the news that came out here today. Safety Shot to acquire Yerbaé Brands Corporation, adding approximately $12 million to annual revenue and creating a potential force in wellness and functional beverages. First off, we're going to look, but their financials, this company's never made over $500,000 in a year. This company that they're merging with did 12 million in a year, and that's going to be part of their financials now. That is going to help this company in a very huge way. Now let's take a look at who Yerbaé Brands is. Yerbaé Brands. Oh, where did you go? Oh my goodness, I lost it. Well, let's go pick up Yerbaé Brands. Yerbaé Brands. I did have this up. I don't know why I lost it. Yerbaé Brands is another beverage. It is an energy beverage. But unlike Monster, which uses vitamin B12, I think it is, you get 200% of your vitamin B12, and you can go to those 5-hour shots, and it's giving you like 2,000% vitamin B12, and that's what stimulates you. This is not using any vitamins at all. They tell us down here that Yerbaé harnesses the natural vitality of Yerbaé mate, a revered South American herb celebrated for centuries for its energizing properties. Now you can enjoy its benefits in a refreshing, convenient beverage. It has 0 sugars, 0 calories, 0 fake stuff, with only 8 ingredients in the can. Unlike traditional energy drinks that leave you crashing after the initial boost, Yerbaé delivers sustained energy that keeps you powering through your day. Say goodbye to jitters and hello to long-lasting vitality. So we've got one company that's got a beverage that's going to help you sober up and feel better, get you going in the morning. By lunchtime, you're feeling pretty spry. You drink one of these and you're off and running. Wow, what a market, right? First gear and second gear. And between the two, they're going to be marketing these in the United States as well as Canada. So let's take a look now at the relative volume for the company. Wow, she jumped. We went from roughly 800,000 shares a day over the last 30 days to over 5 million shares. That is like roughly 6 times her normal volume. Share structure for SHOT. It's not bad. Outstanding share count is currently at 61 million. I don't know what the insiders own, though we could figure it out if we went into a financial. So I don't know what the float is, but we know the float can't be any more than the outstanding share count. So we're not going to be any higher than 61 million, and it could be considerably less. Now, they are going through a merger. There is a possibility that the share structure could change. As a matter of fact, I need to dive back into this piece of news with you because in it, where'd my piece of news go? In it was a lot of pieces I wanted to share with you. There's more to it than just that $12 million. They have synergies. Because they're each making beverages, they can cut out redundancies. They're probably each using a canning facility. They'll be able to use that. Trucking industries, to get their stuff out there, they'll be able to use the same ones. So they tell us that Yerbaé is scalable, growth-oriented, complementary brand with a large and growing addressable market. Yerbaé creates clean, simple, and delicious plant-based energy beverages that are better for you. Yerbaé had approximately $12 million in revenue for the fiscal year ending 2023. Safety Shot and Yerbaé will combine primary and secondary management teams in an attempt to deliver top-line growth. So they're not firing anybody. They're going to keep all their top management. The proposed transaction is expected to deliver significant cost synergies, as I was explaining, driven by G&A and supply chain efficiencies. Now, this is a really long news press, folks. They've got a lot of information in here, and we're not going to go through it all. But I would advise you go through it if you're interested in this deal. So I did highlight a few things I wanted to share with you. The company says they believe this acquisition could be a significant revenue catalyst for the Safety Shot, on top of an expected revenue growth of 50% expected in Q4. So we're going to get that financial come out here anytime now. They expected 50% revenue increase. Well, their revenues weren't very big. I don't even think they were $100,000. But they're growing. That's the important thing. But the real important thing is that they're bringing in a company that did $12 million in 2023. We don't know what they did in 2024 yet because that hasn't been released. Once they merge, we're going to get to see those 2024 financials for Yerbaé, and we'll get those numbers as well. So they've broke down a lot of information here. We can look at the highlights. Leveraging Yerbaé's robust distribution and customer relationships. Synergies between Yerbaé's robust supply chain and SHOT's emerging supply chain. Supercharging project portfolios. Fostering a robust pipeline of innovation. They'll keep trying to create more products. Significant cost savings across the system. Since they're both in the same sector, they're going to be able to save a lot of money. The power of Yerbaé's experienced team, market positioning, global growth. And then down here, this is where I found a name of one of the stores that they're working with. They tell us that Safety Shot has secured a major new distribution deal with 7-Eleven corporate stores in the Chicago area, multiple convenience store chains across the U.S., and major grocery stores. So, first off, 7-Eleven is a huge organization. And I don't know how many stores are in Chicago, but I bet there's a lot. So that's a nice market to tag into. And I'm sure if they do well there, they'll just expand to other big cities using 7-Eleven as their launch pad. And they've got a lot of other major grocery stores as well. They have also formed some key partnerships with companies like KEHE Distributors and Capital Drugs. I don't know anything about them. They tell us this transaction is expected to close in the second quarter of 2025. And that's all the information I've snagged out of here. But as you can see, there is a lot that you can go over. All right, so let's go take a look now at those financials. Boy, I got us bouncing around, don't I? But at least I know where I'm at. So is Safety Shot making anything? They are making revenues. They're just not real impressive. At the end of 2023, they did $202,000. Now, the reason I jumped clear to 2023 is because 2020, it was not their company. I don't remember what the company was, but it was another one. They've only had the company for a couple years. So I think the $120,000 and the $202,000 are their revenues. And they have been losing money each year. They've been in the red. Looking at their quarterlies, they're still not making any profit. They've been in the red. Okay, one time. There in June of this year, we were up. They made $710,000, got to keep $200,000 of it. But now we've fallen back down to just $100,000, and they lost almost $300,000 to make that. Balance sheet for Safety Shot. Now remember, we've got 3 zeros over here to add to any of these numbers. So we've got $1.3 million in the bank, about $8 million in assets. Liabilities are down, about $2 million. So we are holding positive stockholder equity of about $6.3 million. We've got revenues, not to get too excited about. Profit margin is stinky. So this deal with Yerbaé is a big deal. Yerbaé was making profit. I believe I read it was 5.3 million of that was profit out of that 12 million, which is huge compared to them over here. That's like 50%. So this company will have that on their books. And that's supposed to happen here, first quarter, second quarter of 2025. Can't even remember now. So there could be some buildup right now. Now, the fact of the matter is, when we hear of these merger deals, the biggest runs on the merger deals are in the beginning, the first time people hear about them. When they sign the letter of intent, you might get a small jump. When they finally close the deal and it's all done, time to celebrate, nothing. As a matter of fact, normally you'll see the company fall. I don't know why that is, but we see that over and over and over again. So when this deal closes, don't be expecting no big run. I think the big run is to happen right now, over the next week. Maybe Trump coming in will help it. I don't know. But I see a lot of heat on the table. But to be honest, I have not looked at the chart. You and I are going to go look at the chart together for the first time. Let's go do it. You know exactly where we're at. This is my free trading platform, Thinkorswim. We're taking a look at Safety Shot, ticker SHOT. Got her opened up to a 1-day, 1-year chart. We've got a 52-week high that hit back in February of this year, just over $4, and a 52-week low of 55 cents that hit in August. Now, as I said, we did look at this before twice this year, January 30th and January 11th. January 11th wasn't a good viewing. She fell after that, pretty deep. After January 30th, she took a nice strong run, hitting that 52-week high. After that, she went into this exaggerated downtrend, breaking the 200, hitting that 55 cents in August and bouncing off of it immediately. And I like to see that. There's a lot of investors out there that shop 52-week low bubbles. As soon as they see one, they go see if it's undervalued. If it is undervalued, they will jump into it and you will see it bounce. I like seeing this jump from 55 cents up to $1.71. Over 300% run off of that low bubble. She has come back down. She's hovering over that low. Right now, she's at about 70 cents, 65 cents, sitting on this strong support. Our yearly oscillators, they're pretty pensive, except we can see our ADX has a crossover. Our green line, which means uptrend, is crossing the red line. Any line up at the top is the dominant trend. So the green is moving up to the top, which means it looks like we're moving into an uptrend, even though the chart looks like it's in a downtrend right now. Let's come on down to our 6-month 4-hour view. So now we've got a high here of $1.89. Still got that 55 cent low. You can see she did. She bounced off of that immediately right to and through the 200. There's our 200 haul. It has turned up. Everything has started to climb. So she just kept on ascending here. Going up to that $1.71, spiking out, coming back down. Did not hit our 200 here, which was a good thing to see. She bounced back up, but all of our MAs are on top of our head, pushing down. It's like a waterfall coming down on top of you. It's hard to keep pushing up, and the price got pushed down. Really hard. Underneath the 200, down, down, down. And thank God for this strong support. She hit at 65 cents. She's bounced up. She's gotten up onto her 200 haul, which is the best we can hope for here. She has now landed on her 50. Now this is setting up for a 200 squeeze, an atypical breakout. Our price is in the middle of both 200s. Our 200 MA on the top, which is falling. Our 200 haul on the bottom, which is still falling. Now, my 200 haul, I have changed colors. When it starts to come up, it turns blue. So as soon as that changes colors, I expect a change on the trend. I expect the price to do something when my 200 haul changes to the uptrend. So when she's sitting on the 50 with the 200 coming down and this 200, as soon as it comes up, I expect this price to either come down to the 200 haul and get slapped to the 200 MA and through it, or just go directly to the 200 and go over it. In either case, I see a breakout coming from this setup right here. All we're waiting for is this 200 haul to level out and start coming up, and that's when we should see some movement. Our oscillators, not looking too strong here. Our PPO, my percentage price oscillator, is falling. That's a lot like your MACD. You want to see it on top of that pink line and climbing. Speaking of MACDs, it too has had a crossover down across the line and across our floor and is pushing down with a hard red line. Our ADX, though, says that we actually have an uptrend that is getting very weak. You see it falling, and this yellow line tells you how strong it is. If it's at the bottom, it's weak. If the yellow line's at the top, it's strong. This is coming down. This is down here. So it means our uptrend is weakening. But it says we still have an uptrend on the board, still being worked on. So we're going to watch that. Our RSI is falling and is very cool. It's at 39. I don't like to see the RSI any cooler than 55. Taking a look now at our 20-day 1-hour view. Got a high of $1.06 in his downtrend. That's when she was over the 200. Bounced off of our support here, up to the 200. She's just meandering around sideways. And then look, out of the clear blue. But you know what, folks? Today was a very bad day. Lots and lots and lots of stocks just couldn't climb. Not even the beginning of the day was hot. I think we had 10 minutes in the morning when things looked good. And then all of a sudden, things started to fall. Boom, 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 all over the place. It was a bad day. So I'm not surprised to see this here. We are hoping for a bounce back. I don't think this has anything to do with shot. I think that fall has everything to do with market sentiment today, which I am in the dark about. I don't know what had it falling today. Yesterday, it was because we got some bad federal reports about joblessness, unemployment, stuff like that. Today, no clue. Let's take a look now at our 5-day, 15-minute. We were on an uptrend. As gradual as it was, she was working her way across that 200, climbing, pushing away. She dipped under the 200 and took a jump. She went high. Now, normally when I see something pretty much going sideways and then all of a sudden you have a low bubble or you have a high bubble just come real fast, I expect the other bubble to come just behind it. So after seeing this high bubble, I'm not surprised to see a low bubble. It's like an equilibrium of some sort on the chart. It likes to balance itself out. So I see these extreme drops and then pops, or a big pop and then a drop. So I would expect this to at least even back out, to come back up to the 200, especially if we get out of whatever market sentiment has pulled the market down today. As you can see after market, she is already starting to push up. Our oscillators, our PPO has hit the floor. It's starting to come up. Our trends are in the middle right now. Everything is planing, which means it's sideways. We're not quite sure what's happening. That's what you see here. She stopped falling. I wouldn't say she's on an uptrend right now, but she's not falling. That's good. Our MACD, that too is bounced up. We've got a crossover on that. And our first green bar coming into the picture after a lot of red bars. And our RSI is coming up off of the basement floor, 30. It is now up there at 41. Still a bit cool. So safety shot took a fall today like most of the market did. So it's kind of tough to predict what's going on. We seen she was getting excited before market sentiment dragged her down. We see she's getting excited right now. I think there's some excitement to be had here. And I think if market sentiment lets go, we could see SHOT take a good run. Now, as you can see, I do have my supports and resistances here. You may want to freeze frame this and use these to get in. Oh, you get in just over top of these supports and resistances. You would get in somewhere about there, and your first target to get out would be right there. Now, you don't have to sell everything at your first target if this thing's running real strong, but don't miss it. That's a payday. Would you wait till next week to get paid from your employer? No, you want every payday. Take that. I don't care if you just sell 25% of what you hold. Sell something. Put some money in your pocket. You never know when this thing is going to turn around and start going backwards. You want to have something in your pocket. Up here is going to be target 2. You can sell some more there. If it's still looking strong, target 3. So this is how you can play this, folks. Freeze frame this, pause it, get yourself some entries and support, set up your trades with your buy, your sell for a profit, and your stop loss all going in at the same time. This is called a bracket order. You can do them all at the same time, and you don't have to make any decisions. Once you get into a stock, your sell orders are in. All you do is wait for it to climb and sell or fall and hit your stop loss and get you out and save your butt. Either way, it's a good plan because you don't have to worry about making decisions in the heat of the moment because normally we make bad ones. So there you go, folks. SHOT is my ticker for the day. And don't forget, quantum is not going to be the stocks to be playing unless they start running. But if you're looking for investment, look for something else. Unless you're 18 years ago, quantum may be a good long hold for you. Thanks for your time, folks. I hope I shared something of value with you today. Remember, the more you know, the more you're going to grow. See you, folks.